what we're going to do today, copper, is it right trendy here? Copper colors?
Is it
Yeah.
right trendy here?
Yeah, it's coming, it's a big trend, even in the fashion industry. So when we do launching new colors, when we do launching even new techniques, for example, even in our collection, every year we launch new collections regarding spring, summer, and autumn, winter. So similar colors, it's not the same technique what we did for the model for the collection, but similar nuances. It's a big trend now. And therefore, even we already launched a completely new color because to simplify the work, again, in the salon to create this kind of shades. What's important when we do, when a customer are asking us to do copper? They don't want it too orange. It should be more natural copper hair. That means if I have a customer, when I do the consultation, the first thing, of course, sitting down, correct questions like, when you did the last color, which kind of color you used, it's homemade color, supermarket color, or it's hairdresser color, washing the hair before, especially recommended, I know here, they told me, the pollution of even the water, the minerals which contains, so it's very important to cleanse the hair before you start doing. This it's not all everywhere in Europe, but for example, I really recommend it, for example, in the summer when customers are sweating. Always the salt, it's completely changing the pH. This can creating irritation. So these are all steps to make it to a beauty experience, to a well-being experience, exclusive coloring service. Another important point is I will never use in salon just one color. I try always to do a technique because I can earn more money, and even thanks then of the different shades. Did you never see like the Irish copper, the girls there? And you check it. It's not just like one copper. There are many, many different reflections. So therefore, I want to share with you this kind of technique, what we were going to use it. It's an amazing technique. You can use whatever shadow you want. I will do the copper one today, but you can even do it with brown. It's an amazing technique, even for blonde. Darker on the roots, and then on the lengths, we were working with different shades. Why copper? Because we already launched a new modulator. Yes, trendy color, copper color. Don't to make it too orange, too bright, too cosmetic color copper. What's the color what we need? Natural, yeah, if necessary, always depending from where we start, of course. Yellow. If you add sometimes gold, has not this kind of power because the gold pigments, they are more softer. Now we already launched the new, in origin color, the new modulator. It's not yellow. This is also a very important point. The positioning of our modulator is in yellow, but it's even slightly the positioning over to the orange, yellow-orange. Therefore, it's a warm yellow, it's gold. And thanks of this, even if you use it, also the modulator directly for a toning. Do you have a customer, she wants a very nice, warm blonde. You use this, it's incredible. It's not yellow, it's just warm reflection. Do you think about kids when they go into the beach and then they have this sun kiss? It's golden, it's warm. It's not yellow, it's gold. Thanks of our modulator, now you can create this. Oh, it's beautiful. Everybody has started using this, mixing it, for example, with the copper shades to create a little bit more individual copper shades, or using it by himself for toning. Beautiful. The colors what I'm going to use on the roots, we will work, of course, it's all about origin color and the bleaching. After I will do the toning with Smart Color. So on the roots, we will work with 7.4 because I want here a little bit more naturalness. So not that too intense copper, not too golden, like a very soft, nice, natural copper with 20 volume. Here it's always, when I do the consultation, very important about how far, how low I go with the base color. It's even depending on the morphology of the face. Because if I need just to increase, to give more deepness and volume, I even can work like about 1.5 inches. If I need to create a little bit more deepness, you can even go a little bit more farther. You need to create more shadow here. I will even can go through and just give the brightness on the lengths. You can even go through till to the mid-lengths. So techniques, when I show techniques, I really wanted to understand what you're going to creating. So it's like painting something. From deep to lighter, working with different shades, depending on the morphology of the face of my customer. How is she wearing the hair? Has she a ponytail? How is the fringe? Do you need to go closer, maybe here in some areas deeper? You can also mix and match it, makes it personally. Individual, this customizing. Nothing works for one exactly the same to the other one. Then at the lengths, the technique, the name of the technique, it's pinwheel, because it's a sectioning, so we're just working around, and in each section, what it's gonna be how I divide then after application of all the roots, it's gonna be the blonde section using the bleaching products. Between all the bleaching, we're gonna work with other 2 different kinds of copper. Yeah, it's really nice tech, and it's fast as well. This is what customers love. Individual shades, customizing, fast service, but amazing result. So I will start with classic root application. 7.4 with 20 volume, mixing ratio 1 to 1.5. Yeah, it's really, really, if you never had the chance before, try it. Now we have organic vegan products, but don't eat it.
No.
Even the natural ingredients, no, so external use. You can give them around if they want. So even correct application always when you do color. In this case, I don't have, so I'm working, of course, I'm working on a mannequin. If I would have, for example, white hair, the importance of correct quantity of the product, always, I will dab the color just on the regrowth. Never brush it out. Here in this case, it's going to be a changed look completely. So, and I really want to work with the roots a little bit more, so about 1.5 inches, right? Maximum 2 inches. So go a little bit more quick now. Yeah, it's just one classic application of base color. And then all the very important points. So I do just classic profile line, radial section, because this is the base for the sectioning after. I don't want, because of course, if you use, it's always like understanding from which level you start to understanding the mixing ratio, the kind of nuances, what I'm going to working with. On the lengths, just to know, I will work with the 8.44 with 30 volume. So that's going to be the brightest one.
On the ends?
On the ends, yes.
And which lightener?
The third formula, it's 8.43 with the new modulator gold.
844 for the ends, sorry.
Yeah, one color for the lengths. So we have Formula 1 on the roots, 7.4 with 20 volume. Then I have other two formulas for the lengths, which one is 8.44 with 30 volume. Always mixing ratio 1 to 1.5. The third formula, even for the lengths, 8.43 with the add of the gold modulator. Yeah.
What developer was that one?
I don't calculate it with the activator. It's completely, it looks more orange, but it is yellow. Do you want to mix it? If somebody wants to mix also here, also you can mix the bleaching. Can you mix the bleaching? With 40. Yeah, 40.
Oh, 40, sorry.
Yeah.
And then the 8.43.
The 8.43 with modulator gold, 40 volume. The modulator, it's not in here, it's already out.
It's in this one.
Yeah.
But it mixes beautifully, even with the modulator.
That's
in there.
creamy texture.
Here, you're mixing.
The white bleaching powder. The white bleaching powder, because I'm working on a mannequin, I use the 30. I show you after, if you want, I will put on the picture from the, yeah. I will put on the picture if you want from the collection, what we did. So you see even the slightly different effect when you work on natural hair. She was level 7, so it was a little bit more lighter. Yeah. No, it's good that they feel even, mix it up. So it's not that I want to work to make them work, but maybe they were thinking about just sitting all day and then I make them working, you know, so no. Why not? Then hairdressers can't stay still anyway. So 4 different completely shades. Thanks of the bleaching, I will have one really, really light. Then, of course, some customers, they love the blonde even between. It's always depending. I just give you even some information how you can even use it. I will do after then toning with smart color. So like I said, you can do permanent toning in just 10 minutes. In this case, I will use 7.4, 10, 20 grams, and 20 grams with 834. So even a very nice soft copper shade with 10 volume. Very important, when you use, for example, this is also just a suggestion. When you use, for example, the smart color or even origin for toning, and you created an amazing balayage just on the length, so natural hair on the roots and just lightening on the mid-lengths and ends. What's very important about toning? Just work with 10 volume, and really, especially when you have fine hair, consider also the correct application. Don't go too close to the roots because can warm it up a little bit, especially when you create ash shades. You can, if you want to work more comfortable and even more safe, if you want, you can also use conditioner, in this case, on the roots and then just work with the color on the lengths. Last side, and then I will start with the sectioning. In the meantime, question. So When we finish the demonstration, then we'll do, of course, quick recap, and then we will go for lunch. In the afternoon, is there somebody who wants to do a magic argan oil treatment? Shall I show you the new blonde story on her? Yes. Okay, perfect. So, perfect. So normally we hairdressers, they are like, we need to touch everything, always. The first thing we do, oh, how are you? And we touch the hair. Or if you see somebody had amazing hair, you can't wait to touch it. It's like, oh, they looks great. And we're still there with our hands, isn't it? Let's start with the sectioning. Classic profile line from the front till to the nape. Then I will start at the back. First section, what I'm going to do, it's a horizontal section on the occipital bone. From the top of the ear to the top of the ear across the occipital bone. From the point of the occipital bone, so from the center now, I will take one diagonal section forward where the head starts to curve on the side part. Same on the other side. So automatically I have 3 triangles. First for the crown area, second one, third one, and I will do the same from the occipital bone down. So here, very diagonal forward till to the side from the nape. Same on the other side. Always to the external area of the nape. And so automatically I create also here 3 triangles. In front, I start from the top of the hair, diagonal forward till to the high recession. So it's mostly 3/4 to the end of the eyebrows, or yeah, minimum the end. It's more on the high recession where the hair it's also starting to turning around. And always from the top of the hair till to the low recession. I always use the clips. So when I start doing sectioning, because then after now when I start to work with the bleaching, it's helping me just to have a little bit more control about and working very, very clean. Same on the other side. So in this case, I will have one bigger one in the center. and 2 small on the sides. After this now, I will start working in all the section so the complete section of the full head, every single line, in this line, on these lines, I will start to doing the positioning of the bleaching product. In all other sections between, I will mix formula 2, formula 3, formula 2, formula 3, formula 2, formula 3. Let's start before with the bleaching.
So there's 9 sections total, right?
There it's
11 sections.
yes, because you have 5 in front, 5 triangles in the front and 6 at the back. I always keep a little bit of root color because if I want to just for blending it a little bit more softer, even to have a little bit more control, or if I work fast in the salon and I'm going, for example, a little bit too close to the roots with the bleaching, I can always resolve it and go directly, for example, with the root color. So, to don't make a mess, like we start the pinwheel, and now it's just like a watch, just starting from here and going through around, 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 around to the other side. Here, it's not working with waving, but we just take a slicing. Just thin sections. And then I will start the application from the mid-length. And then going and blending it in till to the root color. Also here, when I do this kind of application, it's very important, the pressure. I always talk about when we do color, we're like artists. More pressure I give even with my arms, even with my hands, more intense, more deepness I will give to the color. When I work more on the surface, it's going to be a softer shade. So always when I do even the blending in between root color and the lengths, the position of the pencil. So I will never use horizontal, because when I use the pencil in a horizontal way, I will create even lines. So here, this is the most important point, to create softness, like blending in. Therefore, I will always use the brush then in a vertical. Even the pressure, it's more surface application. It becomes a little bit more intense, and then here it's very intense. Always start from the mid-lengths, just to fix the hair strand. Vertical, blending in with a little bit more softness. And even the quantity of, the correct quantity of product. If I need to bleach a lot, we need product. This is also very important. I know a lot of customers that say, I want to lightening till even 9 levels, but it's not going to lightening. I said, how was the quantity of the product? And he said, yeah, you know, I don't want to spend too much product. I don't say to prepare like 200 grams of product, but yeah, but the correct quantity of product, it's important, especially if you want to lightening. If you don't use that much product, it's impossible. Even some hairdressers, when we do education and we work with the mannequin, a lot of hairdressers, they even work like in the salon, and then it's not lightening anymore. And they say, why? Use it. Use product. It's necessary. Coverage, same thing. Then when I come over, so it just always go in the same direction. Switch over to the other side. Have you ever seen this kind of technique? Well, I know it's we are living in a period now that to find something completely new that you never seen before, it's difficult because we're using with foils, but the education should be a little bit different. So makes them before, or even when I start doing hairdressing, before the education was like, okay, you did the collection and they say how to explain. They explain you like, do like this, 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 and this will the result. Then you came back to the salon. What was the problem? You did it and it looks completely different. Completely. Because the education was different. They don't give you, or they never give you the information what to consider depending on customer's face, depending on customer's hair. Now when we do education, the approach is completely different. We need to know everything. We need to tell them, so it's not just like tell them a technique. Giving them all the information about consultation, about how to use the product, the application, considering if I have darker hair, so maybe some suggestion about mixing ration, even the suggestion about sectioning, for example, what I need to consider if I have thick hair or fine hair. This is all what 20 years ago, nobody cares. Why not do like this?
Well, we were fed the Kool-Aid and drank it then.
Yeah, but it's changing. So therefore, it's not that we change some. Yes, we need fast techniques. We need smart techniques with this kind of result what we want. A few years ago, it was more about contouring. It's still modern, but now it's more natural from the roots to the ends, more softer, different shades of colors, which is quite more difficult. So, or even years ago, when there was the root was all dark and the length was completely blonde, oh my God, I can't see it anymore. It was a trend. Now the trend is completely different. Working clean. This is the other suggestion. So always, when I work, not only on stage, but also in the salon when I need to work, it's the customers today, they're looking about everything. Mm-hmm. If the salon is clean, which kind of products do you use, how you're doing sectioning, if you work clean, if you're not working clean, if you're doing a mess. More professional you're going to work, and they are more happy. Mm-hmm. But even, especially when you do techniques, they say, okay, it should be looking nice when they had something on her head during the exposure time, right? If they have like, sometimes you see like with some pincers, the hair is completely messed, maybe here it's falling down. It's not color experience, a beauty experience. They can't wait to wash it off. So as you can see, we just turn around here at the back. It looks like a pinwheel. And now I will do the same at the front. Starting here from the sides, that's going to be my first section. And you can always go through till to the ends of the section because you have the base color. So even then after when she's do a ponytail, so don't be scary about that she has any sign about the lights. It's always like, because we have 5 sections in front, so always just go where you did the section before, it's just taking the next slice, taking the next slice, so very easy. This looks amazing with brown shades. This is a technique, we did it also a few weeks ago on a model. She has natural base was like 7, so really natural hair, natural level 7. We used bleaching always in the section between, and in the lengths we used also 2 different kinds of super lightener. So it was darker on the roots. We doesn't touch in this case the root color, the base color, because she has natural base 7. It was amazing. She just wanted the lightening. So also this can be an option. So the people now, the trend, especially in Europe, they're going back from the classic balayage. They don't want it anymore. So they want really something new, but at the same time, yeah, fast, effectful. And you see, it's almost done. So you just need now the lengths, very, very quick, and yeah. This afternoon, we will talk about magic argan oil. We have one product. Of course, I will explain you after the complete line. But for example, we have one hero product in Nook, which is this one. The Nectar Color Hair Elixir is a leave-in spray. So for example, I always use this to equalize the porosity of the hair before chemical treatment, and also I just go through. Before and also after as a leave-in conditioner. Why is it so important? Especially, for example, when I wash the hair, so I cleansing the hair, like we said before, because before any other chemical treatment, it's important. If I need to do the after lightening, if I need to do after even color the hair, I put a conditioner on. Sometimes it can be too acid and close completely the cuticle. This one, and it's the only one in Nook, you can use it even before. It's just equalizing the porosity. The hair, it's more uniform after. Because, for example, especially if you have balayage, you can even spray it on your hand. It's really light texture. It's like water spray. Also, when I do, for example, bleaching, when I do, for example, or lightening with super lightener, and I need to wash the hair. So I will wash the hair before coloring for bleaching, right? So shampoo after virgin hair elixir. Then after bleaching, I will do shampoo again. Only hair elixir as an equalizer, and after toning. The conditioner, it's the last step. And this is also detangling the hair immediately. But you can't feel it, so it's for. I'm like this. That's hairdressers, so they all need to touch, spray it. You will see at the end of the day your hair. There are many more products. So what's the only thing to consider now when we start working on the lengths? Because you have 2 different shades. One it's a little bit lighter, the other one it's a little bit darker, but still light, so it's slightly different. Whether you want to position more on deepness or more on lighter one. So in this case, I prefer to do it a little bit more lighter, so I'm sure I will work here with the lightest one automatically. So it's always 5 sections. Here we have always 3 and 3. So the external part, it's always the same. consider just the positioning, and yeah, that's it. And just always one color, one color, one color, one color. One suggestion, the center section in the nape area and in the front, it's more nice when it's the same reflection. So even when they do the ponytails,
No, just gloves.
so even when they do the ponytails, so that there are a connection slightly. Of course, you have the base color everywhere, but it's more, that's more harmony. I start with the lighter one, 8.34, 30 grams, mixing ratio 1 to 1.5 with 40 volume, and then I add 20 grams of modulator. The quantity about the modulator, this is also a big thing what always even hairdressers are asking to me. How can I control the quantity of the modulator? Because you don't calculate it, of course, with the activator, because it should be like a booster, right? I always have a towel because it's just about you working here with the hands to do the application. So especially the first, I secure it with the foil. And the other one on the tops, you don't need it if you don't want it. And then just go through next one with the next formula.
Sounds good.
Do you want?
If you want.
Up to you. I will check it. The second one, no. So I will write it down. I will put on after the presentation. I will have also all the formulas. So base 7.4 with 20 volume, 1 to 1.5. Second, oh sorry. When I start then talking and stop working, I can't do two things at the same time. Sorry. The second formula, it was the bleaching, white bleaching powder with 30 volume because of the dull. Then the other two formulas for the lengths, one was 8.44, 1 to 1.5 with 30 volume. The other one was 8.35 with 40 volume and gold. Yes.
So every other, like, the bottom three sections are the 834, or are you doing all?
Every other.
834 in the center, then the 844 outside, 843, 844. It was like one. Then leave on time 35 minutes, and then I will do the toning with the smart color. Then if you want, you can, when you come over then to the center, you can do the last at the center. Then if you prefer, you can go through or start back. Yeah, up to you. Well, if I have a customer, she already had, for example, this classic balayage, very light in the front. Nobody says that you can't do it. Use the technique around here and put some foils in the last triangle. You can. Therefore, I said, it's just understanding about.
What if I switch on to that one?
Oh, okay, if it's possible. I just want to show them from the collection, from Fable collection, the effect, what we did. With similar, the formulation was similar. Oh, thank you. Yeah, even I don't need to work here. I just need to talk. Yeah, it's perfect. Can't wait to come back, Korey. Let's organize the next day. This is what we was talking about even yesterday. We have an amazing academy.
Did we decide what we're doing in the front? Where we're starting, what we're starting with?
Start with the light one, between the dark,
Well,
so
this is center, right?
the orange, the yellow,
Right here?
center,
Sounds good.
then yes. When we talk about cutting coloring collection. Fable, it's the name of the collection. So the mood of the collection. Why is it so important? Because the Fable collection, so we want to tell a fairy tale. It should be something more inspiration. So the last collection was more naturalness. You even can't see the color on the hair, even the haircut. It was just like very, very soft layering. So now the woman all together, but then all together the same
Yep.
color.
Yep,
Okay,
yep, yep.
perfect. Thank
You
you.
didn't hear my comment. I said it's thicker than a Snicker. We need to cut her in half.
So Fable, the mix between naturalness but the strong woman. So the woman today, they want to have the focus on it. So they are changing from to be a little bit more shy. The women today, they want to be a little bit more important. They want to be a little bit more impressed. So when people, they are watching around, they want to see someone that they say, oh, looks at this, how nice is this color or this haircut. So it's not just like naturalness. And there are two very important trends, which is the, com'era il metaverso? The metaverse, so the virtual part, because today everything is virtual. Everything, it's just focused on something digital. It's the biggest trend, but this is not a trend what we was starting to launch on it. This is the trend for 2024 global. You will see the metaverse, so the virtual, the fake, not natural, combined with naturalness. This is also the trend for architecture, for buildings. When you go to even buying some new sofa, new dresses, this is the big, big trend for 2024. Even the clothes, all the designers, they have this kind of inspiration. And retranslate this, of course, thanks of Nook, we're already in there. So we have nature. So it was easy for us this year. And therefore we launched a collection. So this is the first cut, of course, blonde. Everybody wants blonde, a little bit stronger shades here about the combination of the haircut, because very important layering. So it was about like inspiration, the wolf cut, because you don't need to do nothing. Today, it's also changing how they use product at home. They doesn't want to stay there like blow dry. They want something very easy and smart. So thanks of the layering, it's just giving you great texture. Here we was working, she was a level 8. We just worked with the super lightener. And then at the ends, we create very, very soft pastel shades to make it a little bit more even romantic as well. Also the option, what it's very, very appreciated now, against years ago, when you think about also all the companies about collection, you just saw one style, one look, giving them the opportunity, just the idea, fresh idea how to change the look thanks of the styling products what we have. Doesn't mean that you always need to look like the first picture. Do you go to the beach? Do you have an event? Put on some gel. Like Oil La, for example. Out of the face, so it's fresh, it's reminding summer, it's gorgeous here. And it's something different.
Did you make that soft pink with this color, or you have fashion colors already that do that?
The pink color here, we have also demi-permanent color. So we created, in this case, the pink with the demi-permanent, but you can also create it with the origin color if you have. Just always consider, for example, when you want to create these pastel shades, always consider to use the clear. Yeah, yeah. But of course you can. Thank you so much. Second look. This one is the Cooper. She was lighter than this one, so here the inspiration and even the technique was different. We pre-lightened her before, so we were starting at the length at the level 8, therefore even the vibrant effect, so here we want it. We also mixed, when we was working with the 8.44, so on 8.43 we add the gold. 8.44 we add the red modulator. So even therefore also the contrast, it's a little bit more stronger. But here it's also the contrast even of the haircut. So this is a strong haircut. When you do it straight, it's very, very geometric. It's very English inspiration. So very, like we were yesterday talking, lines, defined lines, precision. But nobody says that you can't do it, for example, on curly hair or wavy hair. Always the opportunity to give them. And a very important point, what we always say when we do education, it's not just, you can do the best hair color ever. Comparing with the best color, there always should be in synergy, because one is pushing the other one. If I have a horrible, horrible haircut, I can do my best job with a hair color. If I have if I have a great haircut and she doesn't want to do any color. And she went out from the salon with the regrowth like this, and I thought, oh my God, why? So even the importance of the synergy between this, and this was the last. She was a little bit more romantic, so here Fable, I think the inspiration, the romantic, like the fairy tale, it's really, her eyes, her face was beautiful. She walked in, she was like an elf. She was like really, here the haircut was not that technical. Here was more the color to bring out the quantity of the hair. So even not always to overdo when we do colors, when we do haircuts. Sometimes even just the classic haircutting technique, just one layering a little bit like graduation on the top, but no layering, nothing, because her hair was so beautiful. Why should I do any layers, cutting off every time? She's beautiful like this. Her hair was like just one length. I said, no, let us open it a little bit, layer it a little bit in the front. That's it. Don't do more. Don't touch it. Beautiful. But here, we give a little bit more push thanks of the adding of the color. Different positioning. Fast, deepness, really on the roots, and then on the length, it doesn't look like a color, right? So it's just, even here, if somebody wants to go, of course we did, where I show you the colors, similar colors, what we used in the collection of Fable, we were starting at the level 8, 9. So here we were starting at the level 6, it's a doll, but I think it's a really, really nice copper, different shades, it's not this classic static color. Yeah. Then of course, this technique you can do whatever you want. The gold, it's going to be increasing this kind of soft, more warmer reflection, not to be too orange, so to give a little bit more naturalness. The highlights before, there was a little bit more yellow, so even of the smart color, then the toning with the 7.4 and 8.35. I was using it with 20 volume in 10 minutes because it already was copper hair, so in this case, even 20 volume, it's fine, even because it's of a doll, right? And 10 minutes, yeah, and this is the result of the technique. Hope you like it.
Come on, pass it around. I have a
Yeah.
question. Is it soft? Doctor?
We don't use any kind of products in, so we use just shampoo and conditioner, that's it. And
Is it natural hair or is it like?
it's natural hair, of course. So to touch even the texture, I recommend after on Dane's hair, you really will see the difference before and
I
after.
think that they can feel it.